26-year-old who plays for Manama. But much like the first game between Qatar and Palestine, neither side in the opening few minutes exerting themselves in midfield. Ali Bates now, the 21-year-old. Paul Le Guen, confident in his youngsters. He says they don't need their star names. However, what Oman do need to do is avenge a very poor Gulf Cup of Nations, which was won by the UAE in January 2013. They didn't even get out of the group stage. Due to the age restrictions, no place for their star player, the Wigan goalkeeper Ali Al-Habsi, who is the national team captain. Chipped up there towards Issa Musa, a little bit too high and out for a goal kick. Anthony Hudson barking instructions. The Bahrain coach was brought in by former Bahrain manager Peter Taylor and eventually promoted from the under-23 side. He also worked at Spurs during Harry Redknapp's era, and Redknapp very complimentary, calling Hudson a young Jose Mourinho. So a big future in the game for Hudson. First effort of the game coming in there from the captain of Oman, Badir Bamisila, 20 years of age. Laid to him by Raed Ibrahim, who's already got 20 caps for his country. The shot though well wide. So Saeed Yaffa can take this goal kick. A fair few of the Qatar fans haven't sticked around for this double header. Still a decent crowd though, and plenty of flags for both Bahrain and Oman. Both countries easy journeys. If you are flying into Doha from either, you've only got about 45 minutes in the air. Scrappy start though by both sides. Perhaps Oman can change that here though. Saud Al-Fazi sliding in, can't make contact with the ball. Oman with Mazen Al-Kazbi in goal, Nadir Al-Maskari, Muhib Issa, Ali Bait and Badir Bamisila across the back. Basil Ali Rawahi sitting in front. Saud Al-Fazi, Abdullah Al-Hamar, Sami Awain, Sami Al-Hassani and Raed Ibrahim completing their lineup. Bahrain with Saeed Yaffa in goal, Mohamed Mahoufi, Abdullah Al-Hazar, Ahmed Al-Katal and Saeed Ahmed across the back. Rashid Al-Houthi, defensive midfielder, can play centre back there as well. Abdul Wahab Al-Safi, Abdullah Yasser, Faisal Abul Dahoum and then Issa Musa and Issa Galeb, or sometimes Issa Galeb is known as Issa Mutana, up top. So those are the two teams if you missed them. And the referee once again is Banja Mohammed Al-Dosari from Qatar. Here's Saeed Ahmed. Works it over to the right hand side, and Abdullah Yasser. Space for a cross. Oman though able to clear through Muhibissa. And then Basil Al-Rahawi will just allow that ball to run out of play. Just his second cap for his country. Plays his club football at Farja. Also in this group, Saudi Arabia, Palestine, Qatar from A, with Qatar beating Palestine 1-0 earlier. And then in B, Oman, Bahrain and Iraq. And then in Group C, Jordan, Lebanon and Kuwait. And Iraq, not to be discounted. Winners of this particular tournament in 2002. And they've brought a pretty strong lineup to try and claim a second West Asian Football Federation Championship title. 10 minutes gone then, Oman 0, Bahrain 0. If you have just tuned in, you'll be thinking this is a matchup between the Red Warriors and the Red or Al-Ahmar of Bahrain. So just to reiterate, it's Oman, the home side as far as the draw is concerned, in red, and Bahrain are playing in white. One man who will be hoping there isn't a red theme to this game is number 23 for Bahrain, Rashid Al-Houthi. He was sent off against Iran after just 42 seconds, and that's the quickest red card in international history. History though now can't repeat itself, given we are 10 minutes in. No real chances so far. So important in these group stages not to lose your opening games, so they do tend to be cagey affairs. As Abdullah Al-Hazar, who plays at Al-Hid, puts the ball out of play. This one hasn't quite started at the same pace as the last game between Qatar and Palestine. Equally as scrappy though, as exemplified there, as Badir Bamasila loses the ball after trying a little flick. And there is Paul Le Guen looking pensive. Certainly under a bit of pressure after that poor Gulf Cup of Nations. And it is a big shout to only bring the under-22s. No place for Hassan Madatha either, or Ismail Al-Ajmi. And along with Ali Al-Habsi, those are three key players normally for Oman. But by the same token, these under-22s are used to playing with each other. So there should be a fluidity and an energy to their display. Ra'id Ibrahim spreads the ball over to the right-hand side, and Ali Bait. Now with Saud Al-Fazi. Sami Awain. Infield to Ra'id Ibrahim, who plays a give and go and wins the throw-in over on that far left-hand side. After a firm challenge by Mohamed Mahorfi, the 32-year-old, who plays his club football at Al Rifa. Space to cross here, and Samir Al-Hassani was in there, couldn't score at the second time of asking. Two half opportunities. The first as the cross came in, deflected away, and the second with a diving header that only needed a touch after the cross shot from Raid Ibrahim. Stays at 0-0 though. And Sami Al-Hassani is fuming with himself. Just needed to stick his neck forwards and take a risk, and any touch would have given Oman the lead. If we're being hypercritical, perhaps Raid Ibrahim had a bit more time to either pick his spot or pick out his man, and was caught between two minds. Saeed Jaffa goes short to Issa Galeb. His ball down the line though, too strong, and it's with Mazen Al-Kazbi, who made his debut last year against Estonia for his country and has now won 10 caps. Still only 20. These two sides last met in 2010 at the Gulf Cup of Nations in the group stage and drew 1 apiece. They also met in the 3rd and 4th place playoff at the 2010 WAFF Championship, which Oman won 1-0. Kasim Saeed got the winner there. Tackle that could potentially result in a booking here. Saud Al-Fazi sliding in over aggressively on Abdullah Al-Hazar. Says he played the ball though, and the referee is going to let him get away with that. You've certainly seen yellow cards given for challenges of that ilk. You just can't slide in with your studs up in the modern game. Mohamed Mahorfi down the right hand side. Neat ball in field. Mahorfi's continued his run into the area. Ball ricochets out to the right hand side. This is neat football here by Bahrain. And in the end, with Abdullah Yasser making a nuisance of himself at the near post, Mazen Al-Kazbi puts that out for a corner. The cross from Issa Musa causing all kinds of problems, and Al-Kazbi wasn't about to take any risk. So Musa's short corner. And although that was played into the area, Issa Galeb was actually unmarked on the edge of the area, and a square ball to him could have resulted in a clean shot at goal. Instead the chance goes a-begging. Bahrain though are starting to get a foothold on the game now, and here's another opportunity down the right hand side. Cleared on this occasion by Muhib Issa. But that's where Anthony Hudson's side are getting all the joy at the moment, and Abdullah Yasser causing all kinds of problems. Issa Musa and Ahmed Al-Qatar were both waiting in the area. The cutback though found a red shirt. But possession wise, all Bahrain at the moment. Although Sami Al-Hassani did have that half chance where he couldn't quite get his head to the ball. from an Oman point of view. It's following a very similar pattern and now pace as well to the opening game, Qatar 1, Palestine 0. I think a fair few thought there would be more goals in this one, but not based on the opening 20 minutes. Here's Abdullah Yasser. Too strong as he tried to play in Issa Musa, and safely into the hands of Mazen Al-Kazbi, the 20-year-old keeper. As we approach the halfway point of the opening half. 0-0 between Oman and Bahrain on the maiden night of the 8th West Asian Football Federation Championship, which runs until January the 7th. Two host venues here at the Yassin bin Hamid Stadium, home of Al Sadd, and also over at Lakhvia's ground, the Abdullah bin Khalifa Stadium. Again, it's Yasser and Joy down the right hand side for Bahrain, and that was a cross shot which, in all honesty, Mazen Al-Kazbi didn't look too comfortable with. Not entirely sure if that was going to drop in the bottom left hand corner, and it was relatively close as well. But I think what's annoying Anthony Hudson is again the poor delivery. Sometimes those are mishit and they go in, but fundamentally you've got three white shirts in the box and the cross was a bit too close to the goalkeeper. Bahrain are the more adventurous so far though, and they do look a threat down that right. They've rarely gone left, but they may do so now. Abdullah Al-Hazar goes back to his keeper, Syed Yaffa. Slightly heavy pass there by Rashid Al-Houthi. Stops a break down the left flank. And Al-Hazar once again goes back to Syed Yaffa, the 28-year-old, who's won his 50th cap for his country this evening. So a proud moment for the 28-year-old. Midway through the first half, and here is Basil Al-Rahawi. Now with Ali Bate, tries to chink his way in field and then in the end leaves it for Samir Awain. And now Raid Ibrahim gets past his man and is felled down. It's on the edge of the area, but only just. And this is dangerous. Easily had the beating of Issa Musa for pace, who's not slow by the way. And a free kick here in a threatening position. It is one of those that's possibly Too close though to the goal to get up and over a wall. So perhaps Oman will shape up to put a cross in instead. Either way, Isagalev needs to get back in the wall. Poor first effort, and then the ball lands on the top of the goal with Syed Al-Fazi lurking. Ali Bait though didn't really get the delivery right, tried a shot, came back to him and didn't get the cross correct either, which is disappointing because this is a chance for Oman to alleviate a bit of pressure and build some possession. In comes the corner. Syed El Jaffa almost colliding with his own post there, but taking a comfortable delivery from Bader Bamisilla, the captain of Oman. Sami Owain. Poor ball that may give Bahrain a chance here. There's space on the left hand side. Issa Musa had stormed forwards, but the ball to him was very short on what's proving to be quite a hard surface, although it should have softened up slightly based on the fact that Qatar and Palestine played 90 minutes on it first. Abdul Wahab Al-Safi over to Abdullah Al-Haza. Given away though. Now what can the front do for Oman? Ra'id Ibrahim. Infield to Saud Al-Fazi. Cut out though by Syed Ahmed. And then a needless foul in central midfield. There's no real momentum at the moment to the game. Just a little bit stagnant. Sloppy foul on that occasion by Nadir Al-Maskari on Ahmed Al-Qatal. Syed Ahmed spreads the ball over to the left hand side. Issa Musa, the most threatening force so far. He's changed sides, so all of the penetration was down the right hand side for Bahrain, but since Musa's moved left, they're now working that flank and testing Nadir Al-Maskari. Rashid Al-Houthi can launch this throw-in in now to the area. Looking for Musa but couldn't find him. Comes out to Syed Ahmed. Now the cross in from the right. No contact made though, and it goes harmlessly out for a goal kick. The Bahraini attackers will have plenty of guile about them. That was Ahmed Al-Katail pushing forwards into the area. But the big miss is Sami Al-Hassani for Bahrain. He got a leg injury, a torn muscle to be specific, against Qatar in a friendly in the build-up to this WAFF championship. And he is the danger man. And as I understand it, he may miss the second game as well, which for Bahrain will be on the 28th of December at 8 o'clock against Iraq. Should they proceed though to the semi-finals, Hassani should be fit. The team that wins their group goes through, and then the best second place side will join them in the semi-finals, which take place in 2014. Even though we've started on Christmas Day, this is technically the 2014 WAFF Championship, with the last one in 2012 being won by Syria. So chances few and far between as things stand, both sides cancelling each other out. Chance to put the ball in the box here though for Oman. Although I say the box, but given the run-up of Sami Awain, there is half a chance of a long-range effort. Instead though, it does go into the box. It's a good delivery as well! Stunning header and a super save as well. The flag was up, so it wouldn't have counted. And that's the right decision by the linesman as well. Whipped in from the right hand side, and the Bahraini keeper Syed Yaffa tipping the ball onto the top of the bar. Raid Ibrahim, the man with the header, and he timed it perfectly and must have thought he'd scored, but even had he done so, the flag would have meant a disallowed goal. And with half an hour gone, still Oman 0, Bahrain 0. Game just starting to come to life now, as Oman have a throw-in level with the edge of the area. And you do feel at the moment one goal might be enough in what's been a cagey half an hour. Sami Al-Hassani is the man on the edge of the area trying to receive the throw-in, loses out though. And Abdul Wahab Al-Safi can try and break. He's given it away though, and it's just going forwards and backwards between red and white at the moment. Bahrain have probably got their tactics spot on. They're trying to use the flanks although it's a bit predictable given that they're basically moving Musa left, then right, then left again, and whatever flank he's on is the one they're using, so it's not as balanced as it could be. And Oman are just going straight through the centre. And that makes for quite a congested midfield. Here's Issa Galeb, too strong down the left-hand flank. And Badir Bamisilla didn't have to worry about that. He knew it was going out for an Oman throw-in from the second it was kicked. Rashid Al-Houthi shepherding that one out, the 23-year-old, mostly a left back, though he is able to play on the right if needed, and actually started his career as a midfielder. Minutes to go until half-time. 0-0 between Oman and Bahrain. Qatar beat Palestine 1-0 a little earlier in the evening. Slightly uncomfortable there between goalkeeper and defender. Abdullah Al-Hazar wanted Saeed Yaffa to come a bit quicker, with Sami Al-Hassani lurking to see whether a mistake might happen, but it didn't. Well, that was a neat first touch and shimmy by Mohamed Mahorfi, but then he scuffed his shot. The space and opportunity was there, although Mazen Al-Kazbi had covered his near post. And as long as it was low, he was halfway down and you would have expected a save, but another half chance goes begging nonetheless. Abdul Wahab Al-Safi trying to start something from the back. Up to Saud Al-Fazi. And now Syed Ahmed cutting in field but losing out, and a break could be on here. Sami Al-Hassani trying to do a bit too much there. He had Raid Ibrahim to his left-hand side, and 21-year-old Ibrahim wanted that ball a bit earlier. Dangerous cross, which really Oman took a risk by letting bounce, even though there weren't that many white shirts in the area. Whipped in then from the left-hand side. by Rashid Al-Houthi. Abdullah Yasser was at the back post, but it just eluded him. And suddenly space at the other end for Oman. Sami Al-Hassani wanted it to feet. Instead, it's been worked to Ali Bait. And now over to the right hand side. Saud Al-Fazi's cross though, far too close to Saeed Yaffa. So it really has been a game of few clear-cut chances so far. Anthony Hudson trying to urge his side on to score at the crucial time just before the break. But you have to give both teams credit for resilient defending. Flag is up here for offside. Faisal Abadahoum, backwards to Saeed Ahmed. Abdullah Yasser just helps it on over to the right hand side. But there's just too many red shirts there. Abdullah Al-Hazar. Plenty of time to pick out his man, and there's two white shirts over there on the right hand side. Arguably made the wrong choice by just clipping it in to the edge of the area. Anything a bit firmer and there would have been space down the Bahrain right. Five minutes remaining until the break. Oman 0, Bahrain 0. Anthony Hudson in particular, due to the fact that he's got his full squad available, not just the under-22s, has got a couple of substitutions that he could make that could have an impact on the game. Abbas Al-Sari, the forward, or Ibrahim Ahmed Hassan are at his disposal, as is Fahad Hardan as well. And Sami Al-Hassani, who I mentioned earlier, has that injury, is sitting on the bench if needed, but won't be risked, and may even well miss the next game as well. Can someone break the deadlock before half-time? Incisive pass over to the right-hand side. And that was half a chance for Mohamed Mahorfi. Super ball forwards. Issa Musa, the playmaker, once again. Paul Le Guen trying to get his back four to stay in one solid line. And thus, had they done so, they could have pushed out, and that might have been offside. Issa Musa with the corner. 2 minutes remaining until half time. And an overzealous lunge by the looks of things is going to be penalised by the linesman. And a free kick to Oman. The official may have even signalled that the ball came out of play and then back in from the original corner, because a goal kick is being taken. So we're struggling for goals here on the opening night of the WAFF Asian Football Federation Championship. Qatar needed a late winner right on the stroke of 90 minutes to beat Palestine 1-0. And nobody looking like breaking the deadlock in this opening 45. Oman and Bahrain, two great rivals, neighbours in the Middle East. But not too much of an intensity to the game, and I think upping the energy levels will be something that both managers advise at half-time. Turn and go is what Anthony Hudson keeps screaming, particularly to Faisal Abu Dahoum and Issa Musa. He feels like getting the ball with their back to goal and swivelling round and then just running could prove beneficial, particularly when counter-attacking. 1 minute of injury time has gone up in an uneventful first 45. Intriguing nonetheless though. It's a tactical battle between two great coaches, one in Anthony Hudson that has a huge future in the game, and one established already in the form of the Frenchman Paul Le Guen. Both are looking quite solitary figures though, wandering in the technical area at the moment. There is the half-time whistle. Not too much to talk about in the opening 45. Oman 0, Bahrain 0. Both teams cancelling themselves out. Best opportunity of the game probably falling to Oman. Sami Al-Hassani, Raid Ibrahim bending in a cross shot, and Hassani only inches away from getting his head to it and making it 1-0 to the Red Warriors. But as it stands, 45 on the clock, and it's 0-0 between Oman and Bahrain.